Hey Shakers, how are you? We are back. This is Narissa Malloy back for day 3 of the How to Double Your Revenue with a Dream Team. So I'm excited because we covered a lot over the past 2 days. And I'm going to do a recap. But for those of you who are joining me live, make sure you comment below. Let me know where you're from. And if you're watching on replay, comment replay. And then again, drop questions if you have. But again, tag your entrepreneurs, especially my women. I love to serve women. For those who don't know me, my name is Narissa Malloy. I'm a business strategist. I work with high growth entrepreneurs to help them to build out their business structure so they can operate more efficiently, boost their bottom line, and of course, lead with impact. And we focus on 3 key areas. The 3 key areas we focus on is your people, your processes, and your profits. So if you're joining me here today, it's because you're a business owner, you're leading a team, or you're thinking about, you know what, I need to hire a team. I need to start bringing on people. But there are some challenges. And we talked about that on day 1. Some of the mindset blocks that entrepreneurs experience when it comes to hiring a team, onboarding a team, whether it's a VA, a contractor, a project manager, all those things. Initially, you may have some challenges that get in the way of that. And raise your hand if you know any of this, or if you identify with any of this, drop it in the chat. But some of the challenges are overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed because as the leader, as the visionary, as the CEO, you're doing a lot. And you may have a problem really trusting other people to do things the way you want it done. And just understand and know that if someone can do it as 75% of what you do, that is amazing. So you have to give your team grace. So you really and truly have to understand how to delegate effectively, how to let go, how to stop micromanaging. If that's you, want to make sure that's something you let go of, and also start creating the CEO leadership mindset. You want to move from doing everything to more leading and empowering and encouraging, right? You want to anchor into your mission and vision because those are the key things that's going to drive you and your team to ensure that you guys are all on the same page. And again, you want to empower and invest in your business and in your team. So crucial. That was day 1. We talked about that. And we dropped the delegation tool. If you missed it, you can catch the replay. The replay will be up for additional 48 hours. So in 48 hours, the replays will go down. So make sure you catch the replay and the tools that we provided for you, the templates. Day 2, we covered building your dream team. What does that look like? Defining who the roles are. Who are the key roles, the skills, the responsibilities? What do you need in order to move your business forward? It's not always just the VA. You have to be super duper clear on what is the responsibility of the VA. Is it really a VA or is it a project manager? Is this person that you are investing in, are they bringing you a return, whether in time or in money? And when I say in time, meaning if you hire this person, they're going to save you 8 hours a week, meaning you have 8 additional hours in the week to grow your business. Or will that person help you to bring in revenue for your business? Either way, you want to make sure that when you're hiring, you are identifying what those roles are and you're super duper clear. And then you want to make sure that you're maintaining a high performance culture. And how do you do that? Maintain a good team is your communication. How are you communicating? Are you constantly communicating? Do you have feedback? Do you have meetings? All these things are important. It doesn't matter if you have a virtual team or an in-person team. You want to make sure that your communication is on par. You want to recognize your employees' birthdays, celebrate monthly challenges, or even recognition. That's a great way. Onboarding. You want to make sure that you have great onboarding system set up. They should feel welcomed. If they're coming into chaos, you can't expect them to produce in chaos. If you don't have any systems and processes in place and you're bringing them on board, how do you expect them to feel? They're coming into chaos trying to make sense out of nonsense, right? So you want to make sure you have some things in place and be transparent and let them know you need help in this department, creating SOPs, however. But again, you're clearly identifying what that need is, what that role is, so they can come in and fill it. I even talked about a case study yesterday working with a client. I helped her to source her first hire, which she's been with for the past year or so. But this first hire, we were so keen to ensure that we weren't just hiring a VA. We hired a healthcare VA with a background in telehealth practices, which helped so much tremendously with her online practice, right? So it's really key and crucial that you identify what those roles are. What else we covered on day 3? Performance culture, onboarding, recognition, training. If you are part of a mastermind or a coaching program and they have some trainings there on sales or marketing and things of that nature, find out if your team can watch the replay or watch a course. It wouldn't cost you anything if you've already invested in the program. But the thing is, you're pouring into your team and you're building that skill set as well. Another thing, allowing your team, we talked about micromanaging, but I failed to mention this one key point. You want to make sure that you are able to allow your team to provide input, to be innovative, to bring ideas, to feel like they are part of the team, that they can share ideas, they can try things out. Because again, listen, I said it before, the individual plays the game, but it's the team that wins the championships. Now, all of this equates to your bottom line, because if you have a strong culture, and of course, you're going to have hiccups, right? There's ups and downs in business. There's ups and downs in teams. Sometimes people drop the ball, all those things. We're being very realistic here, right? The dream team is not going to just come in and just, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes ongoing. And it also takes accountability. As the visionary, the CEO, you have to manage your team. And we mentioned on this day 2 how hard it is for entrepreneurs and growing businesses to lead the business, lead the team, and then manage them. So what does that look like? You're going to have to bring in somebody that can help you to manage, or you have to step up your leadership skills. And managing means holding people accountable, having those 30-day check-ins to see how things are going. All the different things to ensure that people are being held accountable, having those tough, crucial conversations, and also learning when to let go. So all of these things we talked about in day 1 and day 2. And I think yesterday's homework was to, I can't remember. I think yesterday's homework was to identify something that you are going to implement for your team. So now, if this all stood out for you, make sure you comment below. Again, I want to make sure that you are grabbing all these nuggets, that this was fruitful, that you can apply this. Again, we had tips and templates for you to apply and do something real quick, because knowledge is not useful if you don't implement. It's one thing to learn all the stuff, but if you don't implement it and master it, then it's just a waste of time. So I want to make sure that you have the tools so that you can implement, so that you can continue to grow and thrive and build a team that can sustain and take you and your business to the next level, the impact, the income, and the independence that you so desire. So if you're ready for day 3, let's get into day 3 on how we can double your revenue with a dream team. Comment 3 in the chat and let's get to it. So think about this. After we've done all the takeaways, you want to think about mass measuring, right? KPIs. Now, they say you can't improve what you don't manage, and what gets measured gets managed, right? I'm going to say that again. You can't improve what you don't manage, but what gets measured gets managed. So you want to make sure that you are measuring and managing so that you can make the improvements that you need so that you can take your business to the next level. So what are some of those things? They call it key performance indicators. And if you don't have it, it's a great way to think about what is one that you can implement for your team today. One, I mean, you don't have to do the whole thing, but just identify what it is. And then you can talk with your team on how you can track it, measure it, and use it to improve some type of performance within your business. So defining a KPI is essential, because not only does it impact your revenue, it impacts your sales, it can impact your customer satisfaction and operational efficiency. So you want to make sure that you're tracking and analyzing, whether it's weekly, monthly, but you should be tracking weekly so that by middle of the month, you can say, you know what, we need to make some tweaks to make sure we close out the month hitting our goals. You don't want to wait until the last day of the month to say, you know what, we have not hit our goals, we're a day away. No, you want the team to have buy-in. So for example, I was working with a home care agency, and her internal office staff, they were having issues with ensuring that all the employees clocked in and clocked out on time. And so what happened is at the end of the month, they were missing out on money. They were losing revenue because they didn't have all the time accounted for. So after speaking to the CEO and speaking with the team to identify what is the process, what is the workflow, who's responsible, it was all over the place. They didn't have a streamlined process to ensure, to track, to stay on top of it, nor did they have a key performance goal to measure for the end of the month. So as we had a team meeting, the first thing we had is the team to identify what is that metric. They set it at 98% for the month. Perfect. So now it's 98%. Who's going to be responsible for tracking and measuring it? CEO appointed, she appointed a person to do it. We did the training to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You are going to make sure that every Friday you check to see XYZ. Each individual caregiver lead is responsible for checking their team by Wednesday. So we set parameters on the days, twice a week, when they're going to check. So by the time the lead person checks it on Friday, or I believe it was Monday, for the past week, she was able to reach out and let people know who missed the punch. They were able to correct it. And by the end of the month, they were hitting their targets after about 2-3 months of doing that. So this is what I'm saying, hitting your targets. And that equated to more revenue in their business. And that's only because they had buy-in. Someone had responsibility for the process, and then there was accountability in that process. So you see how you got to measure and manage as well. You can't just measure without managing. So KPIs are so important when it comes, and you can use that for various different things: your marketing, your sales goal, how many outreaches, how many emails, how many leads, all of those things. But you can set the KPIs that's going to drive your business forward and make sure you measure those on a consistent basis. And we kind of talked about accountability, so I want to double back with that. Accountability systems, creating processes so that you can track, stay clear of the expectations. So yes, when we spoke to that person that was assigned, she had a role, she had a job description. We updated it also, and we made sure we told her this was your responsibility. She signed to say yes, these are the things that she's going to implement and continue to keep track on. So therefore, it's in her file, it's in her record to show this is her task she's responsible for. So if 30, 60, 90 days from now, she is not performing or she's not sticking to her task, then you can start the process of, what's going on, checking in, why is this not being done, and then going up the disciplinary action chain. And I hope that as business owners, you do have a disciplinary action process in place because, small businesses, you can fire people, especially if you have W-2 workers. You can fire them, but the last thing you want is for them to come back to haunt you with unemployment and all these things, or labor issues and things of that nature. So you want to make sure you have a file, you're documenting these occurrences just to cover yourself, because big corporations, they deal with it and they are able to pay out and settle, but you don't want to experience that as a small business owner as well. So when you have independent contractors, you make sure that you address things of that nature in your contract to CYA. Lastly, the right hires equal more time and more money. And I can't stress this enough, and we touched on this previously, but you want to make sure that you are hiring leaders, thinkers, people that are innovative, can make decisions, who have some type of leadership background, so that even if you hire somebody for your marketing and you title them a marketing coordinator, you don't even have to have 5, 6, 7 other marketers under them. But if you start out, because you've already defined your dream team, you've defined your org chart, so you know who you need. Once you hire that person as a marketing coordinator, they can help you put the processes in place, set up the SOPs, so that as the role expands, as the job expands, as the business expands, you can bring on other people and they can train them. It makes it easier because you are building leaders, but you have to have this type of mindset up front. And unfortunately, when you're leading and growing a business, sometimes a lot of these things get slipped. It can slip through the cracks, but I'm here to tell you that you can still get it done. You can still put it in place, because if you're looking to expand, you want to make sure you're expanding with the right org chart, the right people in place, the right hires. You want to make sure they have the responsibilities so that as your business expands, you have key roles in place to support your expansion. You don't want to expand and start doing all those things, opening up new markets, opening up new services and product lines, and you don't have the infrastructure, the key people to support, because what happens is it can crash the system. Right? Just like Oprah, I never forget, I always love to tell this story. Oprah Winfrey, when she used to do the Christmas special where she highlighted all these different businesses, excuse me, there was one business that she highlighted and they received so many orders they had to shut down. They had to go out of business because they did not have the infrastructure to support the volume that they received. They were so excited about getting on the Christmas list, but they didn't have the infrastructure to support all the customers and the orders that came in. So you don't want to do that for your business as you're expanding or running ads and things of that nature, and you don't have the system to support it. So the right hires equal more time, meaning they're giving you more time back because they are taking over, they're taking ownership, and they're going to help you to generate more money because, again, you have your time back. And then also think about it. Can you implement some type of commission base if they are recruiting, or affiliate market, something, so that they can always add to the bottom line? So those are some things that you can think about. I want you to really process these. I'll do a quick recap on how the right team can double your impact. KPIs, measuring, managing. All that is so important in growing your business and growing your revenue. Next, accountability, being able to track and ensure that they are staying on task, they are making progress, you're measuring their results, you're measuring their outcome. If they're supposed to make 10 calls a day, they're supposed to make 10 calls a day, because that's going to lead to discovery calls. How many discovery calls are booked per week? All of that leads to revenue. How many calls do you need to book to close? So if you need 10 calls a week in order for you to close 4 people, then okay, they're on target. But if they're not performing, how would you know if you're not tracking and measuring that? So ensure you having your KPIs, your accountability systems, and having the right hires in the right roles will help you with more time and more money. And then you can double your revenue. You can increase your revenue. You can do so much because you are all operating in excellence. You'll have hiccups, right? For sure. There's some leadership kinks. There's some leadership gaps. You don't want the constant turnover. So if you put some of these things in place from the beginning or even now, it can save you in the long run. So a lot of times people think that building the team and operations comes last or second or third. But ultimately, truly, if your business is growing, if you are 6 figures and beyond and you're still doing it by yourself, then you are getting in the way of your next level of expansion, of your next income goal, because you cannot do it by yourself. So you need to clearly identify who the first hire is. It's not always a virtual admin. It can be someone else that can overlap a little bit, but you want to make sure that you're hiring somebody that has some type of leadership role, that has experience, that can help and move you in your business to the next level, taking hours off your plate or bringing revenue in for your business. Are they able to do lead gen? Are they able to book sales calls? Whatever that is, you want to make sure that they are in adding to your bottom line or helping you with your time. So I did promise today and that I have a special for those of you who have stuck by the 3-day challenge, the 3-day series, and you're here, or even if you're tuning in now, make sure you comment and let me know you're here. I have an announcement. So I am announcing a special offer. It is for that woman entrepreneur that's ready to hire a team, or she may have a small team and feel like, you know what, I need to maybe realign or shake some things up or identify or maybe optimize who I have. So I'm announcing that today, and for 48 hours only, I am opening up 5 spots to the Dream Team Audit and Planning Session. So in this session, we're going to sit and lock in for about 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours tops. But it's a comprehensive session where I will do a deep dive into your current team structure, identify key areas for improvement, and help you with a strategic plan to build your team. So important, crucial in identifying your next hire or identifying the people on your team that can actually take off some of the tasks and take on more responsibility, or look and see how we can add some type of revenue generating, or again, decreasing your time as a CEO. So why I'm offering this? I'm offering this session because I'm speaking to a lot of women entrepreneurs that are doing it by themselves, even though they have a team. They may be a solopreneur or they have someone, but they're still taking the blunt of everything. And so I want you to step up in your transformative power and build a well-built team so that you can stand in your purpose, you can stand in your power, make the impact that you need to not only grow your business, but create the income and the independence that you truly desire, because you're standing in your gift, you're solving problems, you're making a difference. But for you to do that, you have to be free. You have to be able to use your mind, to think, to go out, to network, to speak, to do all the amazing things so that you can get seen and recognized for the brilliance that you already have. So, why you need this? Because you may be struggling with delegation, and we talked about that, struggling with overwhelm and micromanaging. So this session is designed just for you, so you can walk away with a clear roadmap and actionable steps on what you need to build or optimize your team, your dream team, so that you can also strategize on how you can double your revenue. So we'll sit there together and we'll do that deep dive. So I don't want you to delay, because opportunities like this, I'm doing it for this month only, 5 spots. And for the first person that books a spot, first person that books a spot gets a bonus as well. You'll save an additional $500. So I'm so excited for this as well. And also you'll get a bonus 30-minute additional call, an implementation call, just to see how things are going. So you have to move fast. 5 spots, 48-hour window only. This offer is only available for the next 48 hours. So as we are heading into the change of season, you want to make sure you have your plan. Don't go into the next quarter without a plan for hiring, without knowing who you need, without clearly identifying roles, without strategies to bring more revenue in, and knowing who is key to do what. Don't go into the dark. Get the tools that you need. A CEO with a growth mindset is ready to invest and get the resources so that you can build that dream team. So the program is regularly $2,500, but today it's $14.97. $14.97. Make sure you grab your spot. DM me the word dream team so that you can get your spot as well. We also have the link in the chat. Click the link. Again, there's only 5 spots because this takes some personal time. It takes some preparation. It takes some auditing. And I want to make sure that I can deliver and give you everything that you need. And as a guarantee, if you do not walk away with a clear blueprint on who you need, who you should onboard, what's your dream team look like, then we'll work with you until you get that and you feel satisfied. So at this point, you have nothing to lose and all the more to gain. So I hope this blessed you. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Tag your entrepreneurs. Share this broadcast with them too. If you know someone that's been struggling, talking about they need to hire, make sure you tag this. Share this with them so they can get the resources that they need as well. So remember, fast action bonus, 48 hours only, 5 spots. Make sure you grab yours. The replay is also available for the next 48 hours. You'll also get access to the downloads as well. Again, message me the word dream team for you to claim your spot. And I look forward to working with you. Again, my name is Narissa Malloy, business strategist for high growth entrepreneurs. And I will catch you guys later. Take care.